Action, but how will all of these overnight cues impact our own markets? Our research team is now joining in with the trade setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and of course the setup on the F&O side of things as well. First up, Vinny joins in to get all the market cues that we need to watch out for today. Vinny, good morning. Looks like we are building on to Friday's gains is what the GIFT Nifty is indicating, but what are the cues that you are picking up?
Absolutely hoping for a build-up in terms of Friday's cues that we have. Now, obviously last week, though the markets closed at the negative front, we had Sensex and the Nifty, both were down 1% each overall for the week. Now on Friday specifically, obviously we did see a bit of a recovery coming in and a bounce back coming in. Nifty up 243 points, Nifty Bank up 456 points, almost 1% in terms of gains for both these, but the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. Now in terms of FIIs, they have seen a bit of a buying coming in. 1,795 crores is what FIIs bought. DIIs also continue to buy. 300 crores buying coming in from the DII front. Important factors that we're keeping an eye out on, obviously RBI dividend that was announced on Friday as well. So that is what we're watching out for. 2.69 lakh crores is what they have announced as dividend. It's in the range of what we were expecting. Earnings season, that's going to be continuing, last leg of earnings season, so maybe some bit of a move on that front. Monthly expiry this week, so maybe that's important to watch out for, given that we have economic data, the GDP data in India that will be coming out on 30th of May. So that is something to keep an eye out on. And overall, Trump commentaries, a lot of commentary that have come in from Trump over the weekend. So in terms of tariff threats, sanctions, then he's spoken about, delaying the imposition of that 50% tariff on EU as well till 9th of July. So these are key commentaries that we are keeping an eye out on. Still a lot of uncertainty in terms of commentary coming in on tariff front. But as of now, what the Nifty implied open is indicating, a bit of a mild positive start is what we could watch out for.
Indeed, 60-point uptick is what the implied open is suggesting. Vinny, thanks a lot for that. Of course, there are plenty of stocks that you need to keep an eye out for because there were results that were reported over the weekend, a lot of other news flow as well. Vamakshi, what are you picking up here?
Well, absolutely, Vamakshi. Let me first start off with JSW Steel. The company reported largely inline set of numbers. Standalone EBITDA per ton came in at 8,783 rupees. This is largely in line with what the poll was suggesting. The overseas operations losses also were declined, led by USA. The net debt reduced on cash generation as well as release of working capital. Apart from that, keep an eye out on NTPC as well. Overall numbers missed consensus estimates. Revenue saw an uptick of 4.6%. The margins have declined marginally to 29.6%. But the net profit has seen an uptick of 23.5%, and this is largely coming in from higher contribution from JVs as well as some of its subsidiaries. GE Vernova, on the other hand, reported a good set of numbers, especially on the operational front. EBITDA margin came in at 21.9%, the highest seen among some of the high voltage transformer peers. Order inflow was very strong, an uptick of almost 125% on a year-on-year basis, and the management says that 1 to 2 HVDC projects will be ordered out in FY26. Balkrishna Industries reported flat volumes at 82,000 tons. Margins have declined to 24.8%. The net profit is down almost 26%, mainly on account of forex losses. Glenmark Pharma revenue came in below estimates. The margins have improved on a year-on-year basis, but is much below what the poll was expecting. India's performance was flat, while North America saw a dip. Ashoka Buildcon reported an uptick of almost 12% in its revenue. Margins have improved substantially to 28.9%, and the net profit saw an uptick of almost 73.2%. So those are some of the earnings that you should watch out for. But Mangalam is now joining in with cues from the F&O space. Good morning, Mangalam.
Good morning. So, if you look at Friday, there was a bit of a bounce back that we saw on the indices after the big cash that we saw on Thursday. And that is likely to continue. That's what the GIFT Nifty is indicating. But the question is, what exactly do we do from here since we've started in the expiry week? Two things we'll be watching out for. One would be the flows from the FIs in cash market, and the second would be the flows that we see in index futures. So in the cash market, their purchase resumed. 1,800 crores is what they bought on Friday's trading session, with DIS by pumping in another 300 crores. So a net inflow of close to 2,100 crores. In index futures too, there was a mild purchase that we saw after big selling in the previous two trading sessions. So 150 crores is what the FIs bought. They added about 3,700 longs and 2,500 shorts, though a large part of those purchases were towards the Nifty Bank. So that's something we'll watch out for. Over the previous trading session, there hasn't been much of a change in their long positioning or their net contracts. Long positioning stands at about 33%. The other thing we'll be watching out for is the put-call ratio. The put-call ratio has moved back above 1, closer to 1.1. Remember, it's between 1.2 and 1.3 where the market gets into slightly overheated zones. So for this expiry week, what is it that the option writers are positioning themselves for? 24,900 call. A fair amount of writing out there for a premium of nearly 200 rupees. At the lower level is the 24,800 put, which has some premium added as well, with about 170 rupees on offer. So what is it that the option writers are expecting on the Nifty? Support between 24,600 and 24,650. On the way up, congestion between 25,000 and 25,050. And that brings us to our first congestion when we open today itself. For the Nifty bank, support seen at 55,000, which also is the 20-day moving average. Resistance at 56,000, the previous all-time high. In terms of stocks, watch out for Chambal Fertilizers and Hindustan Copper. Both of them have entered F&O band.
Indeed, 6 stocks in the F&O band today. Mangalam, thanks a lot for that. Take a